Battle of the Atlantic live from Los Angeles. Before we get to Game 2 between Fnatic and Cloud9, I want to get your guys' take on Game 1. What a fantastic performance by Cloud9 straight off the bat. And for me, it was all about the early game. So if we run through the matchups, maybe Benny, we can start in the top lane. Shyvana pick in one end and Karma at the other side, who both fulfill a very different role.
Yeah, so obviously Shyvana's more of a tanky-based champion, and Karma has really strong early game. Her damage is really relevant, but she falls off more into more of a support as the game scales on. And you saw in the beginning, or during level 1, Balls thought he was in a 1 vs 2 lane, so he kind of was at race, and once he knows Karma was bot, or that Fnatic's top, or 2 AD carry and support were at top, he moved from the race to the bot lane and got there a little late, where Soaz turned level 2 earlier. And from this, he tried to, or Soaz tried to push the advantage a bit, chunked Balls a little bit, but he also potted up and just farmed anyway. So that matchup, although Karma's a really strong early game champion, he wasn't able to do as much damage to Balls as possible, and Balls wasn't really kicked out of lane in general. And once Karma did his first TP play, that allowed Balls to just catch up in CS, and I mean, he couldn't take any more damage.
Yeah, I'm actually happy you highlight the TP play because it was very early on in the matchup, and it started off with Fnatic actually catching out Cloud9 in the top lane in the 2v2. Then we've seen the teleport coming in from Soaz. Hai actually walked up. He walked his way from mid lane to top, ended up getting his first 2 kills on the board. And even though Peke did arrive, he got there late. He didn't really have an impact on the fight through his ultimate down, didn't get any kills. And it sort of set the tone for the rest of the game. Cloud9 just made plays and they made kills matter.
About those picks too, something that the casters maybe mentioned as well. Do you think Fnatic dropped the ball, or did they mean to bait out the Kassadin but failed at executing the shutdown strategy?
So I feel like they expected Kassadin pick, like with their almost insta-lock of Renekton. But I feel like just because they picked Renekton that early, that it kind of gave it away that it might be Renekton mid, because Shyvana was up. And Shyvana right now is more popular than Renekton, and I think she's just stronger overall. Like, maybe not early game, but she outscales them like crazy. And just like them insta-locking, yeah, I think it just gave away.
Yeah, and then Kassadin roaming up, getting those kills. And that's what happens if you get a Kassadin going. But then the central element is, of course, how do you transition what advantage you have into team fights? And Cloud9 also did that very well. Yeah,
we've actually got a replay to highlight this one. Let's pull the replay up on your screens. It does come to us from about 18 minutes into the game. It actually starts with Sneaky getting caught by a hook here from Yellow Star. And initially, the plan is good from Fnatic. They try to siege down the tower. They try to find a kill that they can convert later. But just an instantaneous response from Cloud9. Benny, talk us through this replay as we started out.
Okay, so right now you see that Yellow Star is getting hooked. So once Sneaky gets hooked, I'm assuming that Fnatic did not expect such an instant response from C9. Because if you see it as the replay plays, yeah, Leona tries to go in immediately, and PK gets instantly dropped down to like near death just because of how Medius ulted in. And then the solar flare by Lemonation was perfect, and now you see that Kassadin swinging from the right side. Although I do think that Cloud9 was a little greedy with their flashes. For example, Medius could have flashed before the Vault Breaker hit just so they can knock down Cyanide. Same with Hai, he also had his flash. But like, they still pick off 1 kill, and everyone on Fnatic is so low that they can't even defend the mid anymore. Turret.
The one thing that does ring true from that replay and from watching that game, Cloud9 got caught out a couple times. Yeah. When they were pushing bottom lane, they managed to go for a kill. Hai held on to his teleport. It may have actually been interrupted by Peke, but they got caught out, gave away kills, and I think if that decision-making costs them in the next games, I believe that's the only way they can lose this series.
Yeah, but for now, I think that the ego boost for Hai to beat Peke with Kassadin must be huge. But thank you guys for your insights. And now we're going to see the answers to our Twitter question of the day. Earlier today, we asked, which team from the Battle of the Atlantic are you most excited about following in the LCS? And here's what you had to say. First tweet is from @PhoenixRed. I'm most excited to follow Gambit Gaming. With Edward's return and entertaining breaks from the meta, they are the team to watch.
I'm not entirely sure the entertaining break from the meta is going to be a standard in the LCS. But yes, if any team is going to bring out new champions, it is most likely going to be Gambit.
Can't wait for another diamond pick in the jungle. That will blow our minds. The second tweet is from @DemonBlades. I'm interested in how C9 will continue their dominance in the NA LCS, as they are basically the only team to not change their roster.
Just quickly, The question was who's going to be following the LCS. So are you guys going to be following Cloud9 as well in the scores?
I don't know about following. We're looking to take the top. Like, we're not happy with how we were last split. Of course, we're way happier with how we started that split than the other one where it was 0-5, but we definitely want to come out on top of C9 this time.
All right. The last tweet is from X Rice Crispy 24. Evil geniuses. I'm very excited to see Snoopy and crew react to the new region of NA and see how they will adapt from the European scene. We'll
have to see if they can keep up that dominant performance. They were very, very scary on Friday, and as long as they can keep that level up, North America's in trouble.
I don't know about that.
Well, we'll see. In any case, keep hitting us up with those answers all day long. We're at LOL Esports, and remember to use the hashtag LCS. Before we dive into the next game and go back to the casters, your predictions. Is C9 going to close it out here for North America?
I still think Fnatic's going to come back for at least a 1-1 because I don't think I'd be happy with that performance in the last game. They picked such an early game like team comp, and they weren't able to pull out, and I mean, I
feel the same. 1-1, and Cloud9 will take it in the next match.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Now let's send it back over to Pastry Time and Kobe for our next game.